and as we know that we are celebrating this Vesak. And first of all, I would like to extend my respect to Venerable Kassapa, Venerable Dr. Lau, Chandrabodhi, and Vandesumana. They are my idols, my respected venerables, those who have given me a lot of advice and help throughout this time of living in UK. So practice, when we look at the Buddha's teachings, doesn't matter how much we understood Buddha's teachings by reading the books, but if we cannot practice and apply into our day-to-day life, it would be very difficult to ponder and understood his teachings completely. So that's why when he was enlightened, he basically understood from his own experience. And then after that, he taught throughout this 45 years of time, his findings to the whole world. And that extended even today after 2,560 years later. So we are very fortunate to have his teachings that given us an opportunity to learn ourselves and learn to change our perceptions. So in my understanding that the Buddha's teachings is to change our perception by our own effort and own study. And then once we have studied properly and keep it in, take it into practice, once we have seen the results, our perception will change from the old perception that we had, that changes into the new perceptions, and that's how it opens the new world for us. And the perception changed simply on the basis of our study and then carefully practiced through with our own experience. So that's why, in order to change our perception, it is not just reading a book, but we have to experience it physically and mentally. And that's where the practice of meditation comes in. And the practice of meditation, again, is not about changing somebody. It's not about willing to change someone, but it's about changing ourselves, the way we look at it, the way we do it, and then the way we behave. In world, normally we have two types of behaviors. One, impatient, whatever things happens, somebody tells us off or something happens against our wish, then we scold them back. And we generate this agitation towards it. And there is another behavior that normally people will have, is a patient. And the patient will be, he will investigate it properly in his own understanding and then experimenting. And with that, what will happen is that they will be able to tame their mind, and able to tame their mind, not letting the mind go along with these essential pleasures that world is given or the world has. And once we have fully tamed, like like horses or the wild animals, and then after that, once we have tamed it, they become a calm, and we will be able to use it for our benefit. And our mind is like that too. Once we have fully tamed it, it's become a calmer, peaceful, and then we can use it properly for the good and benefit of ourselves. And with that, our mind becomes softer and softer. It's like a water. The quality of water is so pure, it preserves its quality, but it can be able to adapt in any jars without causing any troubles to the jars. And that's the beauty of a Buddhism, that no matter where the Buddhism went or traveled to the different parts of the world throughout this history, never had any problem with that existing community or the culture. And that sort of a mentality or the quality one should have to develop by studying Buddhism and practicing Buddhist philosophies and meditation. And once we have fully studied Buddhism and then practice it properly, the first thing what will happen is we will be able to let go our identity view. And this letting go identity view is the first ladder towards the noblehood. And that first ladder that we can achieve simply by learning to give. And that giving is, again, small things. You can start off by giving. And sometimes people may think that small things giving is not a value at all, but it has a great value. It's a start to change our perception. And that's, again, based on our effort. So that's called the Vidyavada. So Buddha's teachings is a Vidyavada, that you can change your destiny, your perception. So, and that comes through the inner changes in you. So I remember about 10 years ago, one of my friends told me that there was a man who wanted to change the world. So he worked so hard in his 20s. But after working for 15 years, he realized that changing the world is impossible. So he concentrated on his country. And after working for 10-15 years, again, he found that changing the country is so hard. So he concentrated in his village and worked there another 10-15 years, and realized that changing the village was so hard. So he concentrated in his house. And again, in his house, in his family, he found after 10-15 years later that changing the family members, again, it's very hard. Then he concentrated himself. And at that time, he realized that if he had concentrated himself from the beginning, he would have changed himself, and then he would have change or effect to the family, to the village, to the country, and to the world. So the whole of Buddha's message simply is to change ourselves, changing our perception with our effort, and then getting rid of our so-called ego, so-called identity, so-called satkaya ditthi. So that's why the practice of a meditation is to simply understanding this nature of mind, me, and then myself. That's why I normally rephrase the mind into like a as a acronym. So M for the mind the gap, and I, it's okay, and then N, no problem, and the D, learning to be detached. So detachment. We cannot solve any problem, all the problems. Whenever these problems arises, and simply we have to create mindset that it's okay. So having this mindset of a gap in between. And then after that, what is happening here is you're concentrating yourself, observing all the sensation that's taking place in your body, and aware of the sensations, aware of your proliferations, aware of your desires, aware of your exaggeration or objections and commentaries on top of what you have experiencing. And the very moment when we are able to observe that objectively, able to maintain and aware of that, and that moment you are disconnecting from the object that's bothering you. And then that's how you will be able to see the problem in more broader and then clearer. It's like if we want to clean ourselves, but having a bath with dirty water, we want to be cleaned. So we have to come out from this basin which has got this dirty water and look at this is the dirty water. So practice of meditation is simply to withdrawing ourselves for some times and investigating it properly. And then with that, we will have this experiential level of understanding of the nature the whole world has. And that's the teachings of the Buddha, that he said he teach only two things, that is the suffering and get rid of the suffering, or the cessation of the suffering. So that's why the practice of a meditation always focus with us and then channeling towards other people. So, and this practice, again, Buddha's instruction is not to get anything outside object, but to go inside ourselves. And simply that, again, we can start off with watching the breath. Now, breath is a beautiful object that we can use. Suppose breathing in, if doesn't come out, we are dead. Breathing out, it doesn't go in, we are dead too. And yet, how many times do we observe or care about this breath? We care about the outside world so much, but this breath itself, who is our life, how many times do we care? How many times do we look after this breath? And this breath has a so good relationship with our body, with our feelings, with our mind. And then understanding this whole nature also starts from this knowing this breath. So that's why the Buddha's teachings always begin with observing the breath. And now, I think rather than talking on these topics, I would rather invite you to watch your breath and practice for some time. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay. So, in that case, let's practice sitting. Okay, finding your comfortable position. Although you are gazing this computer, this time you can turn it on and simply find a comfortable position. Close your eyes for this time. Okay, close your eyes. Gautamji, you have to close your eyes. Okay, so close your eyes. Okay, and finding a comfortable position. And this time, again, do not think anything. Simply feel the whole body breathing. You're not concentrating in your nose. You're not concentrating in your belly. You're not concentrating in your chest. Simply, the entire body is breathing. So feeling this movement of this entire body as it is moves, along with the breath in and out. Now remember, you're not thinking, you're feeling from inside. And as you're inside, you're thinking, or not thinking, but feeling about your own body, at this time, when you're connecting with your body, the thought pops in. And that moment, again, just disconnect that thought. Connect with your body. And relax. You may have tensions in your shoulders. You may have tensions in your head. Relax them. Just simply not holding your body. So let your chair holds you. Dropping the heaviness onto the chair. And once you have dropped your heaviness onto the chair, and now you can feel the pressure between your body and the chair. Feeling that heat. Feeling that pressure. The connection between your chair and then your body. And expanding that feeling into your entire body. Again, once again, we're coming back to feel the entire body breathing. Now, when you're concentrating on this entire body breathing, now mind needs one specific place to work on. Where does your mind go? Automatically, you're not thinking, you're feeling. Simply, you're following the mind. Let the mind choose where the mind goes. Where the mind plays, like a child plays with the toys, beautiful toys. Let the mind choose to play within this body where the mind goes and play. Now this time you have to remember, mind exists only when there is an object. So mind arises along with one object. And when the object moves, when there is a constant move, mind is constantly arising. So some people feel the breath moving in your nose. Some people feel in your chest. Some people feel in your belly. And wherever you feel it, just aware of that, concentrating that movement. And as you concentrate that movement, consciously, with your clear consciousness, making a note of it. I am observing it. If you're concentrating in your nose and observing the breath, and you feel this is the easiest one, and your mind automatically goes there, then breathing in and breathing out. Consciously, with your clear consciousness, you're simply making a note of it that I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Or simply breathing in, breathing out. But if you're feeling other parts of the body, like the abdomen rises, falls along with the breath, or the chest rises and falls along with the breath, then again, you can use that as an anchor. An anchor where your mind will be settling down, your mind will be calming down. Once mind calms down, it generates the energy, like you have created the big dam, you put the water in, and then you are channeling it just one hole that creates the electricity. Our mind is like that too. When it's scattered all around, it hasn't got the energy. But the very moment when you control it, naturally you're controlling it, and then after you have control, you take power over it, you take control this mental state, and that moment you can channel it to anywhere. You can channel it to your job, your day-to-day life, anywhere. And that moment, I call it opening your senses, and where that moment you're practicing the vipassana, understanding true things, understanding the way things are. Yatha bhuta jnana dassana. So simply working with your breath. Could be rising, falling of abdomen, could be rising, falling of your chest, or simply breathing in and breathing out. The important part here is having a clear consciousness and ability to make a mental note of it. It's a hammering. So breathing in and out, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Or rising, falling of abdomen, rising, falling, rising, falling. Now it's not easy job. And meditation is not an easy job. Although people may think it's an easy job, just sit and do, or just close your eyes and watch the breath. Now you can see, you can observe yourself. Even a few breaths you cannot watch. Even a few movements you cannot settle down. But that fast our mind is working. That fast we are driving. So that's why one of my teacher in Thailand, he taught us, know how to stop, then you have arrived. See things clearly. Take your time to see. Observe it objectively. And that's how you find the peace. So breathing in and breathing out. And simply just coming back to your body again and again, again and again. Naturally, natural breath, natural observation. Now I would like to end with the loving kindness meditation. Okay, so you can put your hand in your chest at the heart part, okay, like this right hand, take and then put it in your left chest where your heart is. Okay, where your heart is, and feel the heartbeat. Can you feel the heartbeat? Yeah. And some people cannot feel heartbeat. In that case, physically smile. So smile, and you can see the connection with your heart. Okay. When you feel the connection with your heart, open yourself and allowing yourself to be happy, telling yourself, may I be happy from bottom of your heart. May I be peace. May I be well. May I be free from suffering. May I be free from hurtfulness, hatred, jealousy, ill will, animosity, anxiety. May I be liberated, liberated. And similarly, we are sending this loving kindness and compassion to other beings, starting from near dear one. Or you may bring into your mind one particular person that you want to share, or a thing. And same manner, sending these loving thoughts. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be peace. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from hurtfulness, hatred. May you be free from troubles of body and mind. May you be liberated, liberated. And similarly, sharing a loving kindness and compassion to all sentient beings, starting from near dear one, probably our parents, probably your husband or wife, probably children, family, friends, relatives, all sentient beings, visible and invisible, in your room, in your house, in your city, in your country, in your in the world, and then entire universe. Sending this love and kindness, bottom of your heart, may they be happy. It's not just a word that you are saying from your heart, but your true feeling that you are sending it. You're really wishing them to be happy. May they be well. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from hurtfulness, hatred, calamities, troubles of body and mind. May they be liberated. May they be liberated. Now you can channel it to all the people that are affected by this coronavirus, COVID-19. Those who are affected, may they be free from this affection. Those who are not, may they be free and safe. Now bring back to your attention to yourself, observing the sensations in your body, and bring that attention to your eyes, and slowly coming out. And I will chant to end for this meditation. Sapphe puttha balapatta pacchekanan chayang palang arahantanan chate chena rakhang vantha sappaso sappa putthanuphavena sappa dhammanuphavena sappa sankhanuphavena sada soti bhavantu te. So thank you very much. Happy Vesak to all, and stay safe. Take care. Thank you.
Hello and welcome once again to this Wednesday, on this occasion, afternoon session, starting slightly later than normal today, a couple of hours late. So I guess this will not matter to many people in the present circumstances. Today, I wish to conduct this session particularly in memory of my dear mother, whose birthday fell on the 18th of March, and whose name was Elaine. a very wonderful lady, a grand lady, who allowed me to ordain as a novice monk at the age of 14, at the tender age of 14. By virtue of this merit, may she be well and happy, may she attain to the sublime happiness of nirvana without delay. So just relax and keep your posture straight in order to avoid the arousing of drowsiness, which is a major impediment to meditation, being one of what we call the 5 hindrances, namely sense desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, and skeptical doubt. I personally believe, as I sometimes say, that it is not essential for people to sit in a chair or in a cross-legged position or in any other posture. However, one needs to maintain alertness. In the final analysis, one must be able to practice meditation in all 4 postures. In fact, this was one of the main meditations which were expounded by the Enlightened One, meditation in the 4 postures. So in that respect, sitting meditation is by no means unique. Necessarily, one needs to be able to maintain and develop the qualities leading to the realization of one's objective, that is, the liberation of the heart from unsatisfactoriness through non-attachment, attaining to nirvana. One needs to maintain one's practice from moment to moment and not just in a seated posture. As a young monk, I used to be very able to sit in this cross-legged posture for long periods of time. I do have long legs, but then I suffered from a severe leg ailment in the tropics, and I'm no longer able to do that due to a serious leg ailment in my left leg, and I also experience pain. During these sessions, if you feel pain or discomfort, please feel free to shift as quietly as possible so as not to disturb others. If you hear irritating noises or experience other irritating things, then just try to make a note of all this, being objective about it and not identifying with it as being, in inverted commas, I, me, or mine. These things come and go, they are as they are. This is a big challenge because from time immemorial, the enslaved heart has been accustomed to clinging on to objects as being I, me, and mine. These are forces at work, forces which are grasping in the expectation of more gratification. These are forces. However, the untrained heart does not understand what we refer to as truth of the way things are, and therefore does not see through to the true nature of phenomenon. That is, in the light of their characteristics of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and what we refer to in terms of ultimate reality as, in inverted commas, non-self. Rather, the heart perceives things as being in some way lasting, in some way pleasurable, in some way I, me, or mine. The ultimate achievement is to rid the heart entirely from this notion of I, me, and mine, and that is only achieved upon the attainment of liberation, that is arahantship. This subtle, very ingrained notion of I, me, and mine then drops away finally. Even the penultimate stage of liberation is a stage where this has not entirely been eradicated. There is a coarse crust of delusion in relation to a belief which the enlightened ones refer to as the kernel, the heartwood of unsatisfactoriness, in relation to the notion, the wrong, erroneous notion, erroneous perception of a personality, the personality belief. And this was referred to by the enlightened ones as the heart, really, of the noble truth of unsatisfactoriness. He talked of old age, sickness, death, suffering, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, despair, association with the unloved, disassociation from the loved, not getting what one wishes, and so on and so forth. And then finally he spoke of this belief in the personality. Now, this is extremely ingrained in the deluded heart. But once this crust of delusion is dispelled, then the heart attains to what we refer to as the first stage of liberation, or stream entry, where that gross, coarse crust of delusion is dispelled, and then one has seen too much. There is no retrogression. One will attain within a few lifetimes to liberation from all unsatisfactories. The heart will be entirely freed within a limited number of lifetimes. Because once the heart has seen the truth, then dispassion occurs, and the happiness of nirvana is understood as being far, far superior to that, to the impermanent, unstable, conditioned nature of sensual gratification, and even far, far superior to the pleasure, very, very subtle pleasure, extremely subtle pleasure, derived from attainment to the highest states of samadhi, or concentration, such as the sphere of neither perception nor non-perception. This was rejected by the enlightened one as being liberation in itself, and the enlightened ones speak of nirvana, which is the only permanent phenomenon, the unborn, the unconditioned, the unoriginated, that timeless quality, if I may use that expression, which is not dependent upon any external gratification or external sources. One may experience that happiness right here and right now in the present moment. We develop what are referred to as the four foundations of mindfulness, four pillars based upon mindfulness centered around corporeality, or the physicality of things, feelings and perceptions, mind states, and mental objects. For example, a greedy mind in the case of mind states, a hateful mind, a vengeful mind, or whatever. And with mind objects, focusing on these mental objects, such as was referred to a short while ago, sense desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, and so on and so forth.
Our heartfelt gratitude goes to Mr. Gautamji for initiating this very special program. I think we are very educated, well versed in Buddhist teachings, and we know enough. But I think there is a kind of a space when we think of our personal practice. We can be proud being Buddhist if we are being benefited ourselves. So therefore, this gives us an opportunity to reflect ourselves, who we are, and whether we are being benefited from the great teaching. Especially when we think of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, made a great service to the humanity, and it has been spread across the globe and goes into every corner of the world and every small space of the universe. And so who we are and what we have done is a bit of an concern that we need to take some inspiration on a day like today. And also to truly understand who the Lord Buddha is. If there is something to be cultivated, he cultivated that. And he guides the people in that path. Buddha is not a savior, but he shows us the path to practice. If we practice, as mentioned in the Madhupindika Sutta, we get the benefit of it. So I would not take much time, and I wanted to be part of this global gathering of celebrating the Buddha Purnima. And the purpose of being here is to support each other, to appreciate each other's contributions, and to be as a family, unity, develop these connections, and recognize that we are a family that follow the one teacher, follow the great teacher, and that we can help ourselves. Otherwise, we become a spoon in a curry. You know, curry, the spoon may stay no matter how long, but it will not understand the true taste of the Dhamma. So, rather being a spoon, let us really taste the Dhamma, and may you all have the blessings of that practical teaching. It is not a dogma, it is not a mere belief system, it is down to earth practice.
Homage to Buddha, the Enlightened One. Gratitude to the Sangha for preserving and propagating the Dhamma. Gratefulness to all the devotees and donors for supporting the Sangha. Most Venerable Monks, dear meritorious Upasakas, Upasikas, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So first of all, wish you all happy, as we call it, Buddha Jayanti here. So as you know, this is the thrice auspicious day for all the Buddhists around the world, because it was on this very Vesak full moon day that Siddhartha Gautama was born, and it was again on this very Vesak full moon day that he got enlightened. And then again on this very Vesak full moon day, he attained Mahaparinibbana. So these three events occurred on the same day, and he celebrated. So one may ask, okay, you may celebrate the birthday, you may also celebrate his enlightenment, but how do you celebrate his passing away? It is supposed to be a mourning day. You don't mourn at all. But then, from the Buddhist point of view, when one passes away, a normal person, then Buddhists cry because they know that this person is not a liberated one. He is going to come back into the world, and he has to undergo all the sufferings again right from birth, aging, disease, death, to be associated with people whom he doesn't like, or to be dissociated from people whom he likes, or situations that he likes. So all these sufferings he is bound to suffer again. He is bound to undergo again. So therefore, people cry when such a person passes away, who is not liberated. But when it comes to a person like Buddha, the enlightened one, who has overcome all the sufferings and who has transcended the cycle of birth and death, when such a person passes away, it is a day of celebration because he's not going to come back into this world of existence, the world of birth and death. So, in that sense, even his passing away is a celebration for the Buddhists. Now, coming to the teachings of the Buddha, as Buddha himself has explained in the verse, and he says, Sabba papasa akaranam, kusalasa upasampada, sachitta pariyodapanam, etang buddhana sasanam. Sabba papasa akaranam, that is to avoid all evils. Kusalasa upasampada, to perform wholesome deeds. Sachitta pariyodapanam, to purify one's mind. Etang buddhana sasanam. These are the teachings of all Buddhas. So now the question is, to avoid all evils. What are those all evils? If you're going to list them out, it will be a very big list. So the root of all evils in the physical world, we can say that to avoid all evils is to avoid killing, is to avoid stealing, is to avoid sexual misconduct, is to avoid false speech, is to avoid all kinds of intoxicants. So these 5 precepts that are given, these are the things that one has to avoid. Now coming to Kusala Upasampada, what is that you have to perform? So these very 5 precepts, if you take it, it is just the other side of it. That is the first precept says to avoid killing. Then what is that you have to do? What is that you have to perform? You have to do actions which protect life, which give life. Like for example, if someone meets with an accident, you can donate blood and save his life, or give medicines to a sick person. So all these life-saving activities, this one has to perform. Then coming to the second precept, one should abstain from stealing. Then what is that one has to perform? One has to donate his own things for the good and benefit of others. That is, one should do charitable activities. That is Kusala Upasampada. Then the third one is to abstain from sexual misconduct. Then what is the other side? Kusala Upasampada. One should practice celibacy, that is brahmacharya. Now one may ask, how come this applies to lay people? Practicing celibacy may be okay for the monks and nuns, but how does this apply to lay people? But then one should understand that Buddha has not exempted even the lay people from practicing the celibacy. The only difference is that the monks and nuns have to practice celibacy for the whole life, whereas the upasakas and upasikas, they have to practice celibacy at least for 4 days in a month. That is, we call the Purnima, Amavasya, and Ashtami. That is the full moon day, new moon day, waxing moon, and the waning moon. So these are the 4 days in a month that even the lay people are supposed to practice celibacy. That is why if you see in Buddhist temples or the traditional Buddhists, they take Uposatha Sila on these days. We call it also as Uposatha Day. So on this Uposatha Day, they take 8 precepts. So when you're taking 8 precepts, in this, the third precept, which says Kamesu Mityachara Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhyami, that very precept in 8 precept becomes Abrahmacharya Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhyami. So that means you are going to practice Brahmacharya on that day. So even lay people are supposed to practice Brahmacharya at least 4 days in a month. So that is Kusala Soka Sampana. Now the fourth one is to abstain from false speech. Then the other side is naturally one should speak truth. Sometimes people do not speak false, but at the same time they don't speak truth either. They just keep quiet when the situations are there. When they're supposed to speak truth, they don't speak. So that one has to speak truth when there is a necessity. So this is Kusala Soka Sampana. And the last one, to avoid all kinds of things. And what is the other side, the Kusala Soka Sampada? You have to develop mindfulness.
आज जो सभी पार्टिसिपेंट है उस सभी को पहले त्रिविध रूप से पावन कल्याणकारी मुक्तिदायिनी बुद्ध पूर्णिमा की बधाई हो, शुभेच्छा। ये बधाई के साथ साथ, शुभेच्छा के साथ साथ मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा, सब अपने आप को मनन चिंतन करें, सब अपने आप को चेक करें कि क्या मैं ये शुभेच्छा ये मैं लेने के पात्र हूं, मैं औरों को शुभेच्छा देने के पात्र हूं या नहीं। जैसे एक उदाहरण पर ये बात मैं बताना चाहूंगा। पिता और पुत्र है, पिता और पुत्र है। पुत्र पिता की वाहवाह कर रहा है कि मेरा पप्पा, मेरा पिता ऐसे है, वाहवाह करता है। लेकिन पुत्र पिता की एक भी बात मानता नहीं, एक आज्ञा का पालन नहीं करता है, तो इस पुत्र को क्या बोलेगी। बस उसी प्रकार हमारा समाज, हम सभी जय भीम नमो बुद्धाय, जय भीम नमो बुद्धाय करते रहते हैं। अगर उसने बताया हुआ, उनकी जो शिक्षा बताई गई है, उस शिक्षा का हमारे जीवन में आचरण नहीं है, नाम लेस नहीं है, तो क्या हम शुभेच्छा लेने के पात्र है। विचार क्रांति तो हो चुकी। अरे डॉक्टर बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर की देन, जिसकी विद्या से, उनका पराक्रम से आज हम सुशिक्षित हो गए, सुशिक्षित बन गए। लेकिन क्या वो शिक्षा का ये विचार हुआ, ये कभी हमने किया कि जैसे बुद्ध ने बताया इमाय धम्मानु धम्म पटिपत्या बुद्धंग पूजेमी, जैसे बुद्ध ने बताया वैसे किया। अरे क्या बुद्ध ने सिखाया। तो एक ही छोटी सी गाथा में, ज्यादा समय नहीं ले रहा, समय ज्यादा हो चुका है। सब्बीतियो विवज्जन्तु सब्ब रोगो विनश्यतु माते भवन्त तंतरायो सुखी दीर्घायु को भव। क्या हम अपने आप को इस सारी बातों से, दुख भय रोग से मुक्त कर सके हैं। जब कोई तकलीफ हुई तो हमें दवाखाना याद आया, डॉक्टर याद आया, बुद्ध याद आया। अरे एक क्षण पर बुद्ध ने क्या सिखाया है, एक क्षण पर बुद्ध ने कौन सी विद्या लेके सिखाए हैं, ये अगर हम समझेंगे तो बहुत ही आज की बुद्ध पूर्णिमा मनाई समझी जाएगी। बुद्ध का जो आदर्श है, जो आचरण करने का है, इस शब्द में बुद्ध की भाषा में बोला जाए कि मेरे गुणगान करने से, मेरे जय जयकार करने से कोई परिणाम आने वाला नहीं। मैंने जो रास्ता बताया वो रास्ते पर चले। तो कैसे चलेंगे, किस प्रकार से चलेंगे, उसकी ट्रेनिंग हो। छोटी छोटी बात को हम हमारे आचरण जीवन से समझे, ट्रेनिंग ले। और मैं गर्व के साथ, बाबा साहब के अभिमान के साथ बोलूंगा कि वो ट्रेनिंग हम ले रहे हैं, 3 दिन में कर रहे हैं। और कैसे रोग से हम बचते हैं, एक हमारे पास सैंपल है। आइए हम सब वो सैंपल बने। किस प्रकार, अरे मुझे तकलीफ थी, ये मुझे रोग था, मैंने ऐसे ऐसे किया तो मैं रोग से मुक्त बना हूं। आओ आप भी ऐसे करो, आप भी रोग से मुक्त बन गए। अरे ये दुख है, अरे उनका कारण यही है, चलो चलो ऐसे करे, देख मैंने ऐसे किया, चल भाई आप भी कर। ये जो है एक बात है, अगर ये ट्रेनिंग क्लास करें तो हमारे बात, क्योंकि आज तो हमने बहुत सेमिनार किए, बहुत सम्मेलन भरे, बहुत रैलियां निकाली, बहुत सामने शिविर बनाए, चीवर पहना और उतारा, बहुत कुछ किया, लेकिन जो बुद्ध ने और बाबा साहब ने इशारा दिया वो करनी कथनी एक वेला काम की जो शिक्षा है उससे हमारा दुर्लक्ष्य हो गया। बाबा साहब ने तो इशारा दिया, बड़े लोगों ने धोखा दिया। तो बड़े लोग के अभी भी मौका है, बहुत अच्छा समय है, यही सोचे, यही चिंतन करे, अरे बुद्ध ने कैसे करके दिखाया, चलो हम भी वैसे करें और करें, तो साथ मिलकर के ये हम करें। मौका मिले तो इस प्रकार से त्रिविध रूप से त्रिताप को हरने वाली इस बुद्ध पूर्णिमा पर हम अपने आप को सफल बने। सही माने में आज धम्म माना धारी तीसो धम्म, धारण करना, आचरण की बात है, केवल नहीं। अगर केवल बोध की बात कर रही है, बुद्ध ऐसा है, बुद्ध ऐसा है, तो ये नहीं मान लेना चाहिए कि पात्र है, पात्र नहीं, आचरण है तो पात्र है। बिना आचरण बातें मुंह में दुर्गंध आती है। इस प्रकार से हमें बराबर समझे और जीवन को अगर लाने चाहे तो सही माने में वो दिन दूर नहीं है जो भारत बौद्धमय हो। बस ये बाबा साहब की संकल्पना के साथ ज्यादा नहीं बोलता हूँ। सबको फिर से मैं शुभेच्छा देता हूँ, फिर से इशारा भी देता हूँ कि भाई उसी को ही शुभेच्छा है, उसी को ही मेरी शुभभावना है कि जो ऐसा करने में आगे आवे, अपने को सफल करे। भवतु सर्वमंगल, भवतु सर्वमंगल, भवतु सर्वमंगलं।
मैं राजेंद्र गायकवाड़, मैं पूना से हूँ, महाराष्ट्र से हूँ। और कोरेगांव भीमा जो आप 2 साल पहले से सुन रहे हैं, नए लोग और पुराने लोगों को तो मालूम है पुरानी हिस्ट्री। तो हम ये आज जो सब एक जगह पे मिल रहे हैं, कोरोना की महामारी की वजह से हम बुद्ध जयंती हमारे घर में इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे हम साजरी कर रहे हैं। आज 2583वीं ये विश्व वंदनीय भगवान गौतम बुद्ध की जयंती हम साजरी कर रहे हैं। भगवान बुद्ध का जो प्रचलित इतिहास है उसमें अभी जो कोरेगांव भीमा का इतिहास है वो मिटाना चाहता है, वुडू का इतिहास है वो मिटाना चाहता है। हमारे 4 साल पहले हमारे वुडू बुद्रुक में छत्रपति संभाजी महाराज की समाधि है, वहां एक बोर्ड था और वो बोर्ड पे लिखा था कि गोविंद गोपाल महार ने ये ऐसा ऐसा काम किया है। और 3 साल पहले उस बोर्ड का गोविंद गोपाल से नाम मिटा गया और हमने 3 साल गवर्नमेंट को पत्र व्यवहार किया। बड़ोले साहब ने हमको बहुत ही उस समय मेहनत सहायता दिए, उनकी वजह से हम पूरी तैयारी से उसमें काम कर रहे थे। तो 3 साल हमने पत्र व्यवहार करने के बाद भी शासन ने कुछ भी नहीं किया। फिर 2018 में कोरेगांव भीमा को 200 साल पूरा होने वाले थे, तो 200 साल शीतनाग ने भी जो इतना काम किया स्वराज्य के लिए उसका भी नाम मिटा दिया, इधर गोविंद गोपाल का भी नाम मिटा दिया। तो ये जो हमारे शौर्य है, हमारी परंपरा है, ये कई लोग मिटाना चाहते हैं। तो हमने ये सतर्क होना चाहिए। तो वुडू बुद्रुक में हमने बोर्ड लगाया और वुडू बुद्रुक का इतिहास पूरे गोविंद गोपाल महार का पूरे राष्ट्र में इतिहास चला गया और उस समय बड़ोले साहब ने हमको बहुत ही सपोर्ट किया। वैसे ही इतिहास मिटाना चाहता है कोरेगांव भीमा के। कोरेगांव भीमा का रणस्तंभ 200 साल पुराना है और उस स्तंभ के ऊपर 1965 और 72 में जो लड़ाई हुई थी उसके जो शहीद हुए थे उसकी पार्टी कोरेगांव भीमा स्तंभ पे लगाया। तो ये जो शौर्य के इतिहास से मिटाना चाहता है। तो इसके ऊपर इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे हम हमारे जो इसकी संस्था कोई होगी, केंद्र भी होगी, उसके ऊपर कोई दबाव डाले और वो इतिहास न बदला जाए, ऐसा कुछ करना चाहता हूँ। आज ये इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कहने के लिए आप मुझे मौका दिया, मुझे अच्छा लगा कि मैं गोविंद गोपाल का वंशज हूँ और मेरी मिसेज शीतनाग की वंशज है। हम दोनों ऐतिहासिक घराने के हैं। तो बाबा साहब 1927 में उधर कोरेगांव भीमा में आए थे और उन्होंने एक चेतना दी है हमारे शौर्य वीर की परंपरा को। आज उसी परंपरा के अनुसार 1 जनवरी को हर महाराष्ट्र के, दिल्ली, भारत के सब शूरवीर को नमन करने वहां आते हैं। और बाबा साहब ने बोला था जो इतिहास बोलता है वो इतिहास निर्माण नहीं करता है। तो मैं ये समझता हूँ कि जो हम कई लोग लेखनी से काम कर रहे हैं, कई लोग हम ऐसे इस लेवल पे काम करते हैं, तो कई लोग एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में काम करते हैं। तो मेरी सबको विनती रहेगी कि आप हमको सपोर्ट दे, हमको प्रोत्साहन दे, आगे हम ये ऐसा काम करने में और भारत का इतिहास आगे रखने के लिए, जो हमको युवा पीढ़ी है उसको प्रेरित करने के लिए हमारा हाथ बटाए। आज बुद्ध जयंती के अवसर पर हम ये बोलना चाहते हैं कि ये युद्ध की भाषा हुई थी, लेकिन हमको अभी युद्ध नहीं चाहिए, हमको बुद्ध चाहिए।
Thank you, Gautam ji, and all technical team like Prashant Balsen ji and I don't know the name of other guy, but it was really nice having the address from all the honorable Bantejis and the meditation. The best part I liked throughout this program, like the meditation by Banteji, and I really liked it and really appreciate all the efforts from everyone to make this event successful. Thank you again.
Thank you, Gautam ji, for organizing such a wonderful and beautiful Dhamma meeting. We wish you the best on this occasion. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Gautam sir and all team. It was grateful to have attend this event, and also thank Namo Buddha and Jai Bhim to all, and happy Vesak to all, and very high respect to all Venerable Banteji. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests joined here. That's our real luck for this program, and hope we will make such programs possibly every full moon day for small gatherings or maybe big gathering. Thank you, everybody.
I'm saying first of all, thank you very much for the organizing committee, and I would say the special thank to Gautam ji, because since 2009 I'm visiting London, and Gautam ji introduced me every place where Baba Sahib has gone, like 6th December event, 14 April, and so many things. And today he has introduced the Buddhism like a culture, you can say the Vesak, Buddha Purnima. So I said thank you very much, and just keep it up, sir, so that we can follow in future what are our responsibilities, what are our culture we need to do in future. Thank you very much.
बोलो अभी अंगुलीमाल का जो आपका सुर बताइए, जो भीम बापा ने और जयदेव बापा ने आपको सुनाया, सुनाइए हमको।
घबराए जब मन हृदय हो उठे डावाडो, घबराए जब मन अनमोल और हृदय हो डावाडोल, तब मानव तू मुख से बोल, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, तब मानव तू मुख से बोल, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि, संघं शरणं गच्छामि। जब दुनिया से प्यार उठे, जब दुनिया से प्यार उठे, नफरत की दीवार उठे, माँ की ममता पर जिस दिन बेटे की तलवार उठे, धरती की काया कांपे, अंबर डगमग उठे डोल, तब मानव तू मुख से बोल, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, तब मानव तू मुख से बोल, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि। दूर किया जिसने जन मन से मानव मन का अंधियारा, जिसकी एक किरण को छूकर
चमक उठा ये जग सारा। दूर किया जिसने जन मन से मानव मन का अंधियारा, जिसकी एक किरण को छू कर चमक उठा ये जग सारा। दीप सत्य का सदा जले, दया अहिंसा सदा पले, सुख शांति की छाया में जनगण मन में प्यार पले। भारत में भगवान बुद्ध का गूंजे घर घर मंत्र अमोल, तब मानव तू मुख से बोल, बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि, बुद्धं शरणं। जय भीम सबको।
जय भीम, जय भीम, नमो बुद्धाय। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ग्लोबल अम्बेडकराइट कन्वेंशन लंदन में जो डिजिटल 2564वीं बुद्ध जयंती का सेलिब्रेशन मनाया। तमाम सभी लोगों को हार्दिक बधाई, मंगल कामनाएं। सभी लोगों के मंगल कामना करते हुए पाली भाषा में आशीर्वाद गाथा कहता हूँ। नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा। नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा। नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा। जयन्तो बोधिया मूले सख्यानं नन्दिवर्धनो, एवं तुयं विजयो होहि जयस्सु जय मंगले। अपराजित पल्लंके सीसे पटवी पोक्करे, अभिषेके सब बुद्धानं अग्गपत्तोपमोदति। सुनक्खतं सुमंगलं सुपाभातं सुट्टितं, सुखनो सुमोत्तो च स्वीट्ठं ब्रह्मचारिषु। कायकम्मं वाचा कम्मं पदक्खिनं मनोकम्मं अनिधीते पदक्खिना। पदक्खिनानि कत्वानं लभ्यन्ते पदक्खिने। भवतु सब्बमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सब्ब देवता, सब बुद्धानुभावेन सदा सुखी भवन्तु ते। भवतु सब्ब मंगलं रक्षन्तु सब्ब देवता, सब धम्मानुभावेन सदा सुखी भवन्तु ते। भवतु सब्ब मंगलं रक्षन्तु सब्ब देवता, सब संघानुभावेन सदा सुखी भवन्तु ते। सब्बेथियो विवज्झन्तु सब्ब रोगो विनश्यतु, माते भवन्त्वन्तरायो सुखी दीर्घायुको भव। अभिवादनशीलिस्य नित्यं वद्धापचायिनो, चत्तारो धम्मा वर्धन्ति आयुवन्नो सुखं बलान्ति।
साधु साधु साधु। Thank you very much everyone. And as it is the जो बुधा डे है, तो ये फंक्शन जो है वो भिक्षु का होता है, और हम लोग जो है ले पीपल को इतना उसमें रोल नहीं होता, लेकिन बनते के गाइडेंस से हम लोगों ने जो कुछ थोड़ा बहुत जो काम करना था वो हम लोगों ने किया। और बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ है, और वनरेबल चंद्रबोधि भंते कनाडा से वो ट्रांजिट में थे, वो भी इधर है। और दूसरे जो और बहुत सारे लोग हैं, प्रवीण गांगुड़े जी है, प्रवीण निखाले जी है, फिर महेश लोखंडे जी है, फिर गायकवाड़ साहब जो है, आर के गायकवाड़ साहब है, नितिन रावत साहब आए स्पेशली, और बडोले साहब हमारे फॉर्मर मिनिस्टर, और अभी भी काफी काम कर रहे हैं। और एक संस्था जो है मैंने देखा वो सेमिनार रखा था डॉक्टर अंबेडकर चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स करके, इसी बहाने वो हमारे लोगों के हेल्प करने के लिए काफी अच्छा काम बडोले जी कर रहे हैं। तो मिनिस्टर नहीं होते भी अभी काफी अच्छा काम करके हमारे साथ है। मेरे कॉलीग अरुण कुमार, जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी ऑफ फेडरेशन ऑफ अम्बेडकराइट्स एंड बुद्धिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी हमारे साथ है, और वो हमारे आनंद भोसले जी भी हाथ इधर साथ में ही है। तो अच्छे बहुत सारे दोस्त भाई लोग हैं। और ये ओम प्रकाश जी दिल्ली से वो स्पेशली बनते को लेके आए, करुणाशील राहुल बोधी बनते को हरियाणा से वो लेके आए। तो ये सभी भंते लोगों को, और खास तौर पर बदंत पन्याशील भंते को वहां हमसे ज्वाइन हुए थाईलैंड से, उसके लिए भंते जी के बहुत शुक्रिया गुजार है। हमारे कोलीग ज्ञानेश्वर नीले जी एयर इंडिया, जो एयर इंडिया की राह देख के बैठे हैं कि सारे के सारे फ्लाइट कब शुरू होंगे, तो हम भाई ज्ञानेश्वर नीले का भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया गुजार करते हैं। और आज का जो इवेंट है वो उसने स्पेशली मेहनत करके और बुकिंग करने में हमको सहायता की, वो प्रशांत भालेसन जी का भी हम बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया गुजार हैं।